the other side, Falcons head coach Raheem Morris. His guys also winners in week 1, so a couple of 1-0 teams ready to get after it here. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Second and 10. Looking to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. And it'll bring up third down. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
So 2 incompletions have led them to an early 3rd and 10. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down.
For the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Go!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Falcons are 1-0 on the year following the win in week 1, and they've got an good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, I think we can safely agree. That's not a call you see very often on 1st and 10.
Ever. Who calls a first down sneak?
I guess the best we've probably seen is a 1st down quarterback draw.
Right.
Yeah, but not a sneak. But they did gain yards.
Here we go, set.
2nd and 9 now. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And the Falcons are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll come out in the pistol.
Ready?
Robinson, touchdown Falcons. Start to this season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week. Another
Call a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Touchdown, Falcons! Kyle Pitts, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the touchdown pass on the last drive, his 2nd of this first half, as he'll try again on 1st down here. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. That one deep for London. And the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 47 yards.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown Falcons. From 6 yards away. And the Falcons will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, Falcons. Bijan Robinson with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are able to extend their lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring...
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10.
Let's go now. Hawk, set, hook.
Robinson up the middle. 20. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Bijan Robinson, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Well, he was already over 100 yards running the football prior to this play, but this run may be his best yet.
I've got to agree with you on that one. We're looking.
The Falcons offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
On the double. Here we go, Shaq. Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Will go down as a gain of 6. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Ready?
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Intended for Bijan Robinson.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll pitch it to Robinson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Incomplete. 6-yard loss. It's 4th down.
Comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Shaq. 70 Timberwolves. Ready?
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
70 left. Ready?
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. He'll try and do this himself. That one deep for London. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they...
Chill, right on my side as my ego becomes a funky child with some wood on my tongue. Be like take a breath and my mouth gets loose. So while I scatter my spit, I dream of juice. Have you ever out in dark hallways? This place like this that made your day. I say, play the track from your record correction. It's your mix, congratulations.
Change a lot of names, some know that we have always been down. If I ever did it, thank you. Then just let me
full cast of Falcons soaring in the upper air here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We've got run that does take to the skies before kickoff. That is the mascot, Freddie Falcon. And at ground level, here they come. A cauldron of Falcons also taking flight out of the tunnel and onto the field in Atlanta. Up next, a contest that keeps things all in the NFC between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. On the Saints sideline, look at their head coach. These guys searching for their first win of the year after an 0-2 start. Across the field, that's head coach of the Falcons, Raheem Morris. His guys, on the other hand, have started strong, 2-0 so far. Go play action on first down. Mooney downfield, and he has it. And this gets him well away from danger as he is up past their 20. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And that's a Falcon first down.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Throwing now off the play action. And downfield, and he finds London. And they'll take him down after he advances this up to about the 43. Pushing the pace right away to start the game.
That's another Falcons first down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
First down, play action. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. Trying to work quickly now.
Gain of 20 more yards. That's another Falcons first down. First and 10 at the 37.
Takes the handoff, now to throw. For the Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons don't need long to take a 6-0 lead. Drake London with the touchdown.
A receiver this skilled, well, he's got every route in his back pocket, but sometimes simple is better. No complicated cuts, no double moves. You just go run right by him.
Hello? Hello?
Falcons and their quarterback ready to take over once again. They aren't even quite sure what this team is going to settle in as this season, Brock, but already this is an important contest for them that could have postseason implications down the line.
On the set.
They'll come out throwing. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. That throw intended for Drake London. And that'll bring up second down. Well, he'd been perfect to that point on the drive, Brock. First time we've seen this coverage force him into a misstep in a while.
I know you hear me talk all the time, Kate, about the rhythm of an offense, right? And I look at it through those optics so much. But it's the same thing defensively. You've got to get a stop, see the ball hit the ground to knock them out of that rhythm.
And he gets this one up to the 40-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
That's just not the guy defensively you ever want the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the gain they did.
Here we go, Shaq. 60 Eagles, 60.
To the air now on 1st and 10.
Come on.
Arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and you couldn't do it. You know, it's one thing to tell a quarterback not to telegraph a pass. It's quite another to fundamentally do the right things. You got to use your eyes to move defenders in this league, especially on your primary target.
He throws a bullet deep to the right side. Well, they had the look, certainly didn't shot away from it, but couldn't connect. And now they're stuck facing 4th down.
Hello.
The Falcons are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And this is an interesting game for both they and their rivals across from them, Brock, getting a key division matchup so early in this season. Now throw to start the drive. He's trying to go deep again. He's got it inside the 25. All the way, that's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons take the lead on the first play of the drive.
There's a good chance. He wasn't even looking when that ball was released, but the crowd, well, the crowd let him know exactly what was going on. He could feel the swell of excitement whenever they take a deep shot. It's only going to get louder now as they were able to connect.
Falcons headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. They're getting close to a minute to play, Brock, and they're going to need that time with a long field ahead.
Cardinal, 18.
Airing it out to start this drive. Caught, nice gain left side. And he's going to have this down to the 42-yard line. A 28-yard pickup there. And that is good enough for an Atlanta first down.
Well, that is a well-designed route right there. He really made it easy to get that pass to him. Creating space, QB receiver, deliver.
One play in, Brock, and this drive is already into enemy territory. First and 10, Orlando Robinson. And he stops as he gets this one down to the 27-yard line. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Let's see, first it was a pass, now it's a great gain on the ground. They've got this defense on their heels.
They'll come up on first and 10. Pass play coming here. Taking a deep shot there on first down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete.
Well, it's hard for me to get too mad at him for missing a touchdown when he's already got two in his pocket. Maybe fantasy managers might not agree with me on this one, Kate. But don't worry, as hot as he is, I bet you a third one's coming at some point.
Could be in the goal line. And he's going to be hauled down at the 2, and that sets up first and goal. And he's up across 200 yards now in this opening half. That's beyond simply a good start for him. This is the type of game where he's been taking the lead on carrying his offense forward however he can. Robinson will not get past the line. He's held up at the 4. So we're all knotted up here at the half, Brock, as we send this over to our buddy Scott Hansen, who's got our halftime report. Scott? The rest of the league. The Falcons ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And they could take control of the second half early, Brock, if they break the tie on this opening drive.
Let's go.
Airing it out to start this drive. And that's incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. Second down.
Once that quarterback broke the pocket, kind of turns into like a zone read option a little bit. Kate, you got a couple choices. Keep it yourself or try to force the throw. There was nowhere to go. He really should have used his legs.
And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop it. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
Kid, it really is pretty simple. If you want to run against a 3-4 group right up the gut, number one, gotta control that nose tackle. Number two, you got to get people to the second level. That was teaching tape.
1st and 10 from the 43. Looking to throw here. Bails out of the pocket quick. Now he takes it. And he's got this one down to the enemy 35 before they force him out. Get 22 out of that play. And that's a Falcon first down.
Oh, that just sucks the wind out of the defense. So demoralizing. So many guys do things the right way, only to see a quarterback evade the pressure and go get that first down anyway.
Complete. It's Bijan Robinson. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Some of these quarterbacks, I swear, it's just instinctive. Like a great running back, they just know how to buy a little bit more time and to create space to find those completions outside the pocket.
And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do get home that sound.
Throwing this one back of the end zone. And look at the footwork there. Touchdown. The Falcons take the lead right away in half number 2. Drake London with a touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. Wow, just fantastic work there. Tiptoeing along the back line. The concentration was there. Great catch for 6.
Yeah, the concentration and the body control. I don't know how these receivers do it in this day and age. There's no space.
Falcons are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. They've certainly had no issues scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive.
Hello.
They're going play action. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he manages maybe 3 yards there to the 23-yard line.
I'm not going to lie. I know they got a completion, and completions you never turn them down. But if you make that throw for those yards into double coverage, that's way too much risk for that reward.
Second down now, 7 to go.
Hello?
Looking in the air here.
Yeah, I said hello. Did you say hello?
Escapes the pocket.
I said, yeah, I said hello. Did you say hello?
But problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. Third down coming up.
Yeah, where's coming at?
They'll throw, 3rd and long. Absolutely fires this one, right side. Big gain downfield. And he's finally down to the stop to this one. A notable chunk of yardage broken off of that game. And he has stayed productive throughout this game. He's up to the 300-yard mark after that last completion. Really has been a solid showing for him finding his targets. So as we all recover from that last play, it's 1st and 10 near the red zone. And he will score. Touchdown, Atlanta. The Falcons stretch their lead on the final play of the 3rd.
Do what? He thinks you did. Okay. Okay. But then, here's David. I guess, yeah.
There are a couple different ways now. You can win on a fly route. You can just run right by somebody, or you can...
Oh, well. All right.
Falcons headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now.
Talk to Clement
They're
later.
already on a modest little winning streak here. Currently in position to stretch it to 3 games as they take the field again. To throw here on 1st down. He's loaded another one up. Touchdown, Atlanta. The Falcons have likely locked up the win right there. Drake London with a touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game.
First thing you do as a quarterback, the first thing that
I
you
guess
do
I'm coming
against the
this
NFL
back,
level, if you
let
haven't
him
learned it earlier, is you scan those safeties. Do I got middle field open or close? Do I got a single high or 2 high? Is that post going to be available? Because if it is, big plays can follow.
Falcons ready for their next series. Led out on offense by their quarterback. They're going to win this game, but with touchdowns on 3 straight drives, Brock. They're probably going to want to keep that streak going.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
And they'll let the clock run all the way down and expire.
Delay of game, offense.
Can't get the play off in time, and I'm going to wager the call is going to come in much quicker, Brock, for this next snap.
Still 1st down.
They're throwing it. He's looking deep once again. And this is going to end up incomplete. Really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but that heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
Cut down the field. It's Pitts. And they're on him right near the catch point as he gets this to the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that is good enough for Atlanta 1st down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get into a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Throwing from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. That throw was looking for Kyle Pitts. So it's 2nd down coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
There's Robinson on his own read.
Come on.
They ran that one right into traffic and went nowhere as a result. It's going to be third down.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
70 Timberwolves.
Throw here, third down. Oh, we put way too much on that one, Brock. Over the end zone and out. Took his shot at 6 that time. And now they're staring at 4th and long.
Jonas Sanker on the coverage.
The Falcons are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And they should just be able to kneel out what time remains. There's 3 timeouts defensively still available, but using them is not going to alter this outcome. Oh, Brock, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Taking a chance to the end zone. Oh, again, it looks like a pick, but they drop it. A chance to steal it away in the end zone. They just can't finish the play.
Well, that's not the uniform you want to see almost bringing it in. They are so fortunate to have another shot down here after the near pick.
Following the near interception, this is 2nd and 10.
Here we go, here we go. 70 Lions.
Run it with Robinson from the pistol. They're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. And it's a gain of 12 on that one. And that's a Falcon first down.
Danger, Kate. Danger, I say. You get this guy in the open field, and he is dangerous to take it to the house.
They're going to pass it here. Finds a seam down the middle. And the stop is made 3 yards from the end zone. It's going to be 1st and goal. And that completion gets him up to 400 yards in the football game. Now, it's a tough mark to reach, but one that every quarterback takes pride in being able to reach, or at least challenge every so often. Now, they don't need points anymore, Brock, but can they resist piling on? Let's see. It's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. And he makes the catch, but he will not get the feet down. Oh, Brock, that could have been a highlight reel touchdown. Instead, just an incompletion.
As I watch practices today, Kate, both college and professionally, one thing is abundantly clear. Teams spend so much more time in the red zone. They know it's the money zone. And defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and lead teams for field goals, you got a great chance to win.
Setting up for the kneel down on 3rd. It's a designed run for him. So the Falcons earn the win in this one. And they're continuing to survive among the final remaining unbeaten teams across the NFL, as they're now up to a 3-0 start.
I'm good on those. I don't want no more.
Just a wild little piece. Lord, how I gave my parents fist. Tried so hard to raise me right, but I was born to run the night. Dad took me home when I was a kid. Wouldn't believe what the hell I did. He said, boy, hold this. Told my cousin you better run. Last time he poked fun of me, got my with a tree. tried to play cool. Cop said, boy, you're just a fool. Cuffed and stuffed me in the trunk. Next time I won't get so. Wild son of a gun. Pay for all I've done. Swear they'll get upset, 'cause I ain't done just yet. Had a little fun on my parents' couch, tried to figure out what love's about. Mom came busting through that door. What? No more. Kick that girl out in the street. Next time I'll be more discreet. Wild son of a gun. Pay for all I've done. Swear they'll get upset, 'cause I ain't done just yet.
What defines my name?